Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clinical Research Management Network presentation entitled, Are You LinkedIn? My name is Yashika Ebanks, and I am the project manager for the New Jersey Alliance for Clinical and Translational Science. So why do we need LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a social media platform. You may be familiar with Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. It is a great way for you to seek new ways to get hired. It's a great platform for you to demonstrate your expertise in clinical research management, to look up and follow companies and colleagues of these companies that you hope to work with one day. It's also an amazing platform for you to participate in groups so that you can be in the know of all the trends and conversations that are happening. And you can also connect with your CRM faculty that are within the CRM network. You never know, you may need a recommendation one day. So there's so many areas that we can speak about tonight in reference to LinkedIn, but I'll only be covering these 5 areas that I like to call the big 5 on LinkedIn. It'll be the areas of your headline, your headshot, your banner, your About Me section, and I'll be sharing some recommendations to make your LinkedIn profile stand out a little bit more than normal. So about your headline, this is an area of your profile that needs to really be catchy. It is the thing that has the most visibility other than your headshot and your banner, which I'll get into a little later, because it's the area that you can truly say the most about yourself. You are limited to only about 80 characters in your headline, which I'll show you what that looks like in a little. But it's also an area for you to think of keywords that are attention grabbing. It is the aspect of your profile that you can get someone to take a moment just to stop what they're doing, for them to take a look at it again, and then to scroll down to learn more about you. Let's take a look at what your headline looks like within the LinkedIn platform. I'm going to stop sharing to Okay, here we are. So this is just a quick demo from my LinkedIn profile. You will see after I list my name, this is what is considered my headline, your headline. Mine says that I connect people to the world of clinical research. I am the NJX project manager, as I explained before. And just a quick fact about me, I also am a personal chef. Once you go into your LinkedIn profile, you will see this edit button here that looks like a pencil or pen. Once you click on that, you are then able to create your headline here. You can also list your position and so much more. Just be reminded that you're limited to about 80 characters in your headline. You have to make sure that you think about some catching words, some attention grabbing words that will cause maybe a recruiter or someone from a professional organization who wants to make connections to build networks of such. It'll cause them just take a stop so that they would want to learn more about you. And then they'll scroll down to learn more. Okay, I'm just going to go right back to the presentation. Sorry, just bear with me here. Awesome. Thank you so much for your patience. So this is just some examples of some really good headlines from our most recent clinical and translational science workforce development interns. So you'll see that they listed that this person is a software development student. They were seeking a full-time engineering job, and they had expertise with Java, JavaScript, and they were a 2021 graduate. This person over here listed that they were PharmD candidates. They had expertise in global health and other underserved populations, and so on and so forth. You'll notice that they're not only pointing out what their current title is, but they're also pointing out some skills that they have, their expertise that they have. These are the attention-seeking keywords that you want to make sure that you use in order to get somebody's attention when they're looking and going through profiles. So if you already have a LinkedIn profile, I want you to take a moment just to think about your headline. Is your headline catchy at all? Or is it just that you are a CRM student? You are a CRM faculty? What exactly is it about your headline, now that you know how catchy it has to be, that you'd like to change? Let's keep those ideas in mind. The next portion of your LinkedIn profile that I would like to speak about tonight is your headshot. It is very well known that profiles with photos are 14 times more likely to be viewed. Headshots do not have to be done by a pro, but you can have someone assist you. Many people now have Androids and iPhones that take pretty good pictures. You can use your iPhone if you'd like. You can use your Android if you'd like to take your headshot. However, please be mindful that your professional headshot is not the same as taking a selfie at all. You need good lighting, you need a nice backdrop, and you need a beautiful smile. It'll go a long way. Again, just to pick your brain a little bit, do you currently have a profile picture on your LinkedIn profile? I promise if you don't have one on there, it will more so be overlooked. You want to get one up there that is high definition, like some of these headshot examples that I have up for you. Again, these are some of our past NJAX clinical and translational interns. And these are some great examples of their headshots. You'll see here with Carolyn, she was actually in the pharmacology building in Piscataway. And you'll notice that she's actually standing on a stairwell, but this beautiful piece at the back is going to make it really, really stand out to any person that is going past her profile. Even with Brian, his background is a little blurry. However, where his silhouette is, where his picture is, it is very clear. It is very high definition. And so he pops out with his suit and a big smile on his face. The same for Parasorn. And Valerie actually really stood out to me the most because she had on her Rutgers lab coat. She too is a PharmD candidate at EOSHI in Piscataway. So there is another aspect of your LinkedIn profile, which is called your banner. Your banner is actually an area that you can reinforce who you are and support the written content on your profile. If you start thinking about your branding, start thinking about your profile being your prime real estate, you need to just figure out a way how you can grasp your reader's attention, and in a simple way, of course. Here's an example of a former NJAX workforce development intern. Her name is Erica Davidoff. And if you will just take a look at her headline, she did exactly what I pointed out already. She was a biomedical engineering PhD candidate. She had some specialization with scientific communications, and she also was a freelance graphic designer. She actually attempted to combine all those three items in her banner. This is her banner here. It's a graphical representation of who you are ultimately. So her research was typically on tissue engineering, and she found a way to intersect her love for tissue engineering along with graphic design. And so this was the image that she came up with. I think it's quite beautiful. Here's another example of a profile from a former intern as well. This student she took a more simpler approach. She actually was a lab scientist, and she took the approach of having a pipette in her banner, along with a microscope, along with some test tubes. And then she just listed her areas of expertise here. Again, it's really your world, but you want to make sure that it all comes together in such a way that it is a representation of who you are professionally. And here is a profile of Dr. Alex Sunes, who is actually the NJX Workforce Development Lead. She has done an amazing job with teaching me all that I know about LinkedIn. But you'll notice here on her LinkedIn profile, she did the same, starting with her headline down here. She is a toxicologist. She's also an academic researcher and an innovative educator. There are different areas of her lab that she wanted to highlight. And so she created an image for her banner that talks about all that illustrates all of that. It may seem a little busy, but because she does so much, it was the best way to captivate her audience and get them to understand all aspects, all facets of what she's an expert with. And you guys have already seen my profile here. You have already seen my headline. For the banner that I've chosen is a computer because I am a project manager. I'm always working on a computer. And also the fact that I'm always organizing and managing things as well. It was the best thing to kind of just illustrate all that I do in one pictorial view. Just so you guys are aware, some details so that you can access your banner image. If you just go to your profile and click on edit profile, you will be able to add a background photo. If you already have a background photo there, it probably is the default photo, which I showed before. If you hover over it, then you should be able to edit that background and upload a new photo. If you're uncertain as to what your banner may be, depending on your area of expertise, I've listed here in the slides, which you will get a copy of at the end of the presentation, just some other areas that you can go, some other platforms that you can go to be inspired. You can go to Canva, PicMonkey, Adobe Shark, and even in PowerPoint. PowerPoint has really elevated themselves over the past few years, where they've added a lot more stock photos that you can now go into and just download and edit to your liking. So now that you have an idea a little bit more about what your headshot should look like, what your headline should look like, and what your banner should look like. Again, just throwing out questions out there just to toggle your brain to see if you now are able to grasp more of what connects with you and what you want to connect with your employers, your recruiters, the networks that you want to connect with, the professional people that you'd like to connect with. It all is telling one story. All right, we're just going to move forward and chat a little bit about your About Me section. If you're adding context to your career trajectory, you definitely want to build momentum with your headline and your headshot. But you definitely also want to make sure that you're sharing your brand and you set the stage within your experience section. This is your virtual hello to everyone. This is where you tell them who you are. You explain to them what you're the most proud of about yourself and your professional accomplishments. You also get an opportunity to explain what's next for you. And you're able to list some skills that you've developed over time. In the very bottom of the slide, you will see a link here. I've provided some examples for you when putting together your About Me section. So I wanted to pull up this slide just to give an example of a professor at Duke, and he actually outlines every single aspect of the About Me section that we just spoke about. Here, he talks about his passion. He talks about his career and how many publications he's had, his expertise. And then he goes in to talk about, he connects everything with his future directions and what his current research is and how it all ties in together. In addition to having the About Me section, let's take a look at his headline. He's a professor of anesthesiology and surgery with tenure. Again, all of this comprises of making your LinkedIn stand out. He has an awesome headshot here in a lab coat and his scrubs. He also has a wonderful banner back here as well, where he is actually speaking in front of a large crowd. How amazing is that? He's speaking actually at his grand rounds, and this really is a show-stopping moment. And I'm so happy that he was able to capture it and post this on LinkedIn so that we were able to take a look at it. In this first section here, you'll see that he points out what he offers and what he actually values. In the second sessions down here, second and third, he speaks more about what he's motivated by and what his skills are and what he has next coming with his research. Again, you want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile, it actually speaks about who you are so that it can grab the attention of others when they're going through and looking through your profile. In your experience and education section, always be mindful to share more than just the title that you have experience in something or that you have education in something. For example, I'm a doctoral candidate at Johns Hopkins University. Saying that I'm a doctoral candidate doesn't say much, but if I go into what it is that I'm studying, then it is more of attention getting. I get an opportunity within this experience and education section to speak more about my professional endeavors, the things that I'm working on, the things that I'm accomplishing at the moment. So definitely use this time to sell you. I would suggest to make sure that you list your dates of education and experience in reverse chronological order. Be sure to highlight what you did or what you're currently doing, whether they're activities or with certain professional societies. Again, all of these are areas that you can network with others, that you're able to link in with others as well. Just be mindful that your point of doing all of this is to be concise. It is to make connections with other people in professional organizations. You never know, they may be long-term partners. These were some examples, again, from some of our past students with their experience and education section. This student here was a PhD student, and they were able to list in bullet form their experience. It's always easier to list in bullet forms or to provide a quick, simple summary in no more than 3 or 5 sentences about your experience in your education. Social media does not need they don't really like to have long written essays. So if you can make it very short and concise, that would be preferred for sure. Also, be sure to use professional titles, action verbs, include a count of something, include percentages if you have, if there's research that you've done, if there's a number of papers that you've published, be sure to include all of those details within your experience in education section. It is something that will catch the attention of someone for sure. If you are in the CRM network, here's a question for you all. Are you connected with your CRM faculty? This is something that you should do right away. Go ahead and find Lisa Palladino, your program director. Go ahead and find Nadina Jose, Barbara Tafuto, Lisa Cooper, and there's so many more of your CRM faculty. Go ahead and connect with them. Even some professional companies that you have as well, reach out to them. Make the connection. You never know if someone will accept it, and then you guys can start a conversation in the inbox and just talk about the work that you all have been doing. It's just about taking that shot and starting the conversation. Don't forget on your profile to add and endorse your skills. Aim for a minimum of 15 skills. Your skills should include your technical skills, any trainings that you've had, and any interpersonal skills that you had. You can also, if you don't know where to start, you can try the LinkedIn Skills Assessment quiz. They will actually make some suggestions for you. There are some clinical research modules as well that you can take within LinkedIn. Within LinkedIn Learning, there's Coursera. You want to make sure that you list all of those to endorse the skills that you have, as well as your experience, because it's going to really help to create your profile. It's going to really help to tell the story of who you are professionally. So just a little bit about building your network within the CRM network. Connect with people that you know. You can definitely reach out to me and connect at any point. Again, I like to connect people in the world of clinical research. So feel free to connect with me. Connect with any speakers or lecturers or panelists within your school, professional organization. Share your accomplishments, share your educational progress. Post on a regular basis any interesting articles that you found. Endorse and recommend others as well. Congratulate others, whether it be someone just had a new baby, someone took a trip with their parents, someone graduated with their doctoral degree. Be sure to turn on your alerts so that you too can be in the conversation with the individuals that you've connected with. Here's an example of one of our prior students who was happy just to get a summer undergraduate research fellowship. And your post can be just as simple as this. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out or go into much detail. It just has to celebrate you professionally. It has to celebrate all that you're doing so that other people can connect with you and start the conversation, because Kareem was extremely happy to start this new position and everyone around him celebrated him as well. So now that we're talking about putting your LinkedIn profile together, even if it hasn't been to the degree that I'm explaining it to be, how often do you check your LinkedIn account? It is important to not just set it up and just let it be. It is extremely important that you stay connected. Download the app, make sure that you're getting your notifications, make sure that you're going on and posting and sharing. It's important for you to check it often. Oops, sorry about that. And one of the main reasons why I'd like to recommend that you check your LinkedIn profile quite frequently is because there are many employers that are scourging the LinkedIn platform. And so they have applicant tracking systems embedded into LinkedIn. There are data and analytics and algorithms that are embedded into the platform as well, just to identify potential candidates for positions that they may be looking for. So if you are interested in making sure that you stay on top of your LinkedIn profile, you never know. Maybe there's a keyword or something that you use in your profile that may offer you the opportunity that you didn't even know that you really needed at that moment. You just never really know with all of the aspects and wonderful features that LinkedIn has. Be sure to summarize your education as a statistic. Be sure to list your skills, because again, if you use the right keywords, you will be able to be matched potentially to a job. You never know. There are 95% of recruiters use LinkedIn regularly, and you never know what your potential may be, what may happen in your future. And metrics will be evaluated even before opening your CV and your resume. And that's the wonderful thing about this digital world, that people already get a good picture of who you are before you even walk in the door. So you just want to be mindful that you do your due diligence and you provide all the keywords listing out the exact picture of who you are professionally, so that you can network with those that you intend to network with. This was just a test for you guys. So I put up a sample profile for you. And I just would like for you to look at her profile, Ashley Westfield. And she is a fake student. I'm so sorry. She's not real. However, there's some things that are very wrong with this profile, okay? And I just want you guys to just take a minute or so just to look at her banner, look at her headshot, look at her headline, and her name, and tell me if you see anything wrong with it. What are good aspects of Ashley's LinkedIn profile? Let's start off with the good aspects first. I would say some good aspects are the fact that her banner is very clear. You can tell that she's in research. This is probably a petri dish of some sort. The image is very clear, high definition. She does have her school listed here. She has made 27 connections. And I think that's pretty much it about the good points with her profile. All right, let's go back to her profile and let's just list a few things that she should change about her profile. One of the things that I would recommend that Ashley changes about her profile is her headshot. Under no circumstances should she have a selfie as her headshot. Her eyes are closed, there's no eye contact, and she has alcohol in her headshot. So this is definitely a no-no. Ashley also did not put a good tagline for her headline. Just mentioning that she is a student, it doesn't make her stand out in any way. What is she studying? She's a student of what? You know, we need some more detail about Ashley. 9 times out of 10, Ashley's profile would have been overlooked by any professional colleague, any recruiter, any student, really. There's nothing about Ashley's profile that would make someone want to connect with her professionally. Just some last tips for your LinkedIn profile. Be sure to add URLs and programs or groups or activities. Those are always great because, again, it's a digital view. And so if you have the digital view and you're scrolling down, it's really, really just quick and simple for someone to just click on a URL so that we can see what programs and groups and activities that you're associated with. Also, make sure that your profile is actually public. You can go into your settings and you will see the button to make your profile public. There's no need to go through the work and make your profile beautiful and then no one can see it, right? So make sure that you go ahead and edit your settings so that your profile could be publicly visible. Be strategic about your endorsed skills. If there's something that you're really, really good at, list it. Have someone endorse you. Your friends and other professional colleagues, they can endorse you as well. There was one specific example where a colleague of mine, when I worked at Kessler Institute a few years ago, they endorsed me for an area with traumatic brain injury research. And I would say that I was competent in the area, but I wouldn't say that I was advanced in the area. And so with that, I actually removed that skill off of my LinkedIn profile because I didn't want a recruiter or someone from a professional organization to come and ask me a question about it that I was uncertain about. So be sure to be strategic about the skills that you have endorsed on your profile and the skills that others are endorsing you for on your profile as well. Again, your LinkedIn profile is really a pictorial view about who you are professionally. You should be able to answer to every single thing that's listed on your profile. Just be strategic about it. Don't want to find yourself in an area where, you know, someone wants you to do something and you're unable to follow through, you know, over promising and under delivering. That's something we definitely want to avoid. Be sure to join the groups on LinkedIn. There is a Clinical Research Management Network group on there as well. There is the network page, and then there is the CRM group page where you can actually get involved with discussions and have conversations with other CRM professionals as well. So be sure to join the groups so that you can stay in the know and you can be a part of the conversation that's happening. Always do your best to avoid jargon and abbreviation on your LinkedIn profile. I know we're in a world of abbreviations and emojis and yeah, let's just try our best to avoid it. Professionally, it doesn't really look well. Even in research that you do, there may be someone who may want you to do some work, but they may not know what SAS is. So be sure to explain what SAS is. Be sure to explain what Java is. You know, those are abbreviations, but you can list and explain what those are because not everyone would know. So do your very best to avoid jargon and abbreviations within your profile. It will be helpful to you, and it'll also be helpful for the person that is reading your profile. Be sure to claim a vanity URL. So it is a shorter URL for your LinkedIn profile. You can go in your settings and you will be able to find that as well. So throughout the presentation, while you were thinking about the changes that you'd like to make, think about the area that you'd like to edit the most and start with that. This is a continual thing that you will be changing because you are developing and growing in your career all the time. So this isn't a one-time done situation. You will edit your profile after watching this presentation, and then you will probably go back and edit a different section. So if you want to just start off with the most important section to you, it may be your banner. It may be the education and experience section for you. It may be just uploading your headshot first. Whatever it may be for you, I would suggest that you go ahead and make that edit right after watching this video. And that brings me to the end of the presentation tonight. Please feel free to join the CRM network. If you can just scan that QR code on your screen, you will be able to join the CRM network page and join the discussions that are happening in the CRM network groups. I'd like to just take this time just to thank Dr. Panettiere, who is the NJAX Program Director, Dr. Lauren Alexunes, who is the NJAX Workforce Development Lead, Dr. Barbara DeMarco, who is the NJAX Workforce Development Co-Lead, and also Lisa Palladino-Kim, who is the MS and Clinical Research Management Program Director. Thank you so much for your time today. It has been a pleasure just to speak a little bit about staying connected with LinkedIn. This presentation is supported by the New Jersey Alliance for Clinical and Translational Science, which is a CTSA grant. Thank you all for your time today.